Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone on YouTube and folks that may be passing by. I'm Bagadon at Stock Market Caddy, and today is Monday, June 26th at high noon. Now, we thought we'd come on, maybe we might do this periodically through the summer months, kind of slow, and just kind of check in with folks and give you an idea as to what we're up to, what we're doing, and also give you a chance to ask any questions that you might have. If you're seeing this, we don't get thousands of people tuning in to see the live markets, which is just fine. But if you see the video after, and you're more than welcome to send us an email. You're welcome to call us. You're welcome to visit the website and get a better idea as to who we are and what we are about. We'll just take a quick look at a couple of things here. We'll just bring your attention. We did run one of our robots last night from 10 p.m. Sunday night. We're going to do it again tonight from 10 p.m. to about 9:45 this morning, right through the open, and it deposited. It was actually just up over 1,000. We had a little straggly order tick off about $70 or $80 off of that. So basically $1,000, and we're in the house. Swing machine, though, is continuing to do what it's doing. We want to give you a view, and this is just the NASDAQ. The VIX on a 5-minute is still short. So I'm not so sure that I would trust this latest little sell here for very long, as long as that VIX stays in a short mode. But if you had taken, just to highlight, if you are trading mechanically swing machine, we can trade it mechanically. We can trade it robotically. We can trade it in multiple time frames now. We can pretty soon even add additional market filters. But let me just highlight a couple of things to you. Let me bring this off and give you an example here of what we're talking about. So here's the NQ 1 minute. It went short 92 1-minute segments ago, right here. And it went short at 15,101.25 at 10:32 today. And if you took that trade, if you have Swing Machine on your desktop and you took that trade, you're up, and you still have it. If you do, right, you're up $2,200. That is with a mini contract. If you have a micro contract with futures, it's 1/10 the size. By the way, the margin that you'd be using at 10:32 is approximately, I want to say about $1,500 or so thereabouts. So in percentage terms, which you don't ordinarily use, if you used in essence $1,500 worth of margin, you're up 2,300. What's that? 100 some odd percent return. Makes for a very, very nice day. But that's what that is doing. A micro, you'd be up only 230. And of course, this is all relative, and our approach is relative. If you use 10 minis, then you're up 22,000. And you're in a different league. These guys are using hundreds of these things, thousands of these things. Okay. They are they don't get to build those big buildings in the Hamptons or in New York and Chicago and out of the Hamptons by accident. The 3-minute, if you said, I want to trade the 3-minute, I don't want to trade that fast. Well, the 3-minute went short 23 3-minute segments, and that was at 11 a.m. And that's this one right here. That one. And you'd be up 1,800. And you said, oh, well, Don, you know what? I don't even want to trade that fast. I want to trade the 5-minute. Okay, well, the 5-minute was 12 5-minute segments ago at 11:10. And that would be this one right here. And you're up 800. Now, this side of the ball over here, we'll just kind of highlight this whole thing here. Can we do that? This whole thing here gives us all of the trend information that we need, which means it's down. If you haven't figured that out, it's red is down. Thing is going down. This tells us where we are in the field, right? So once you're in the trade, maybe it's time, you only want to go so far, right? God, I was just, I don't know why I'm so enamored with that story. It's such a bad story, but scary story. We moderate our risk, right? So when we see the 5 minute, we see it not get in here and we're up, whatever we're up, maybe we're up 1,800 or $2,000. It's time to drop ballast. Don't go any deeper. We're not trying to get it all, right? Not trying to be, that greedy, right? Just get a piece of this is the idea. So I can remove some of those markers. Now we traded. How did this get put in here? Okay, so this is real time. We traded a program trading multiple time frames of swing machine starting last night at 10. And I can tell you the trading details. And so let me go. I'm going to go get a report on this. And bear with me. That's one thing that TradeStation is very, very good at. So we're going to generate a trading report. So the profit factor was 3.2, meaning we made $3.20 for every dollar we lost. There were a total number of just 6 trades. They were all robotic. And we left quite a bit of money on the table, which is always good. And the percent profitable, 50%. 50%. Now, that number sometimes everyone focuses on the money and on the profit factor, which is good, right? Which is good. But I bring your mind, your attention to the winning percentage. If you have it in your mind that you need to win 7, 8, 9 out of 10 times, you're probably going to be a very frustrated person. You probably won't be a trader unless you're counter trading. These programs can make money at 50%, at 30%. So think about that. If at 30% they're profitable, that means 7 out of 10 times they're wrong. Psychologically, if you're putting on the trades and you're putting on a trade and you're wrong, 7 out of 10 times, probably going to be a bit of a wet noodle, right? Because the human psyche wants to be right. It wants, positive reinforcement. And that's the greed and the fear, right? Additionally, the trade analysis, we can tell you that the average time in the trade since last night during that trading period was 1 hour and 44 minutes. An hour. And the average time between trades was about 2 hours. So it was a very patient trading approach. So in any case, that's some of the details. And I'll go back because I don't have visibility on YouTube. All right. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate. I'm not going to bend anyone's ear. We're going to just continue to look at these guys right here. Right. So this 1 minute, when we get started, I think it was up, about $2,000. It's now up 3,300. And the NQ is up 2,900. And this one's up 1,800. And yes, the VIX is still short. Almost like they disconnected it. Maybe they have. Maybe they have. Let's refresh that, because that just doesn't look right, does it? It doesn't. So it could be some sort of a trap, but we're not going to overthink it. It's starting to, like, well, maybe we got to be a little concerned. What is the VIX? The VIX gives us a view of put and call buying. It's kind of a fair gauge. So right now, it's just a little bit of profit taking. And now we can build in, and we will be building in a filter into our what we call Swing Machine Cubed, and we could filter this out. But still, there's some really nice trades to be had here, right? If you have any questions, feel free. Again, I'm not going to bend your ear. We're not running a radio show or even attempting anything like that. We're not here to entertain. It's not we're not running an entertainment network or anything. We're traders. We're traders. We're trying to get in, put a little bit of money into the market, either short or long, get a little bit of money, a little bit of money out with a little bit of a profit, and call it a day. There are 24 opportunities a month in futures. If you trade every single day, including Sunday nights, if you want to take off Friday, you want to trade 20 days a month, which I think is plenty. And you want to if you extract $100, it's 2,000. If you extract 200, it's 4,000. But you've got to work to get yourself control of your emotions. So that is no small feat. That is no small feat. It isn't. We will work very, very hard with you during your Q school. We will set up a view, a trading view, much like this. We'll tell you what it's doing. We'll tell you how it's working. And then we will encourage you to set up your view. If you have TradeStation, either something similar or you could use something else. And we would encourage you to stay in a simulated environment and to try to outperform the machine. So you begin to learn to trade mechanically, following a machine, and hopefully it'll make you that much better. But it does take time. And we're going to change that view, not every single day, but every couple of days, exposing you to the many different ways of things that you could be looking at. But in the end, following the Q school, you'll need to, adopt one or two approaches and work on your discipline and start moving. It's very important that you work on your own trading skill. You don't want to be totally reliant on the trading robots, right? They're there to help you. They're there to help you maximize your time. They're there to help you, just basically just help you control your emotions. But you still need to have good trading skill, because if you don't have the hours behind the controls of flying the plane, you could be up in the plane and you could have an autopilot on, but if that autopilot comes off or it starts to go askew, what are you going to do if you don't have any piloting skills? You might panic. You might put the plane into the ground. That wouldn't be a good thing. So you do need to have good, trading skill, and you need hours trading mechanically, discretionary. You'll be that much more of a better trading robot trader, and you'll be machine trader. You'll be going back and forth and back. If you have any questions, let us know. And we're going to keep this view up until about a few minutes before 1 o'clock, and we'll see what if there's anything of note here. But you can basically see what the market is doing and where and when Swing Machine decided to get short. And yes, the VIX looks busted. Is it disconnected? I don't know. Could be. Could be. Seems a little bit bizarre. There's been very little fear in this market. And we can use these tools to, by the way, let's just take a look here. Let's put the 1 minute on a 60-minute time frame. We haven't looked at that in a minute. So here it is. Here's the 60-minute in Q, 31 hours ago. 31 hours ago on the 23rd at 6 a.m. That's when the real selling began. And if you had taken that trade with a mini, yes, you're up 3,800. These hourly signals, they can last for days. We've seen them last for weeks. Then again, maybe later today it dissipates and, we start going along again. It can't get by us. It can't. It's tracking it. It's tracking money flow. It can't get by us. The question is, can you got to check your opinion and your thoughts and your emotions at the door. You start imparting, I think the moving average is doing this and the MACD is doing that and this and that. You're going to get all hung up. But so we'll put this back though to a 1 minute. I'm happy to plug in, as we always offer. If you've got a market that you want us to plug in, a stock that you want us to plug in, an interval that you want us to plug in, I'm happy to do that. And I'm happy to answer any question. Wish everyone the best. So again, these trades are still underway, still moving, and we're not trying to show some sort of ATM. We're not trying to say that that we have found a holy grail. That this is some way to corner the market or anything. Um, we don't believe that that even exists. But we do believe in mechanically trading, in robotically trading, back and forth, forth and back, getting in for short periods of time, limited exposure, limited risk, getting in, getting out, getting it done, and moving on. You'll find that hopefully it's something you enjoy. It's got to be something you enjoy. If you're doing it purely just for the money and it's a source of frustration, you're probably not gonna do well. It's probably much like anything else. But if there are any questions, you can see now that the VIX, even on a 5-minute interval, the VIX is starting to head north, starting to trend north. You can see a trend change. So the green VIX at 15 and getting above 1574. So as long as that VIX stays above, the selling could continue. It means the market is getting defensive for some reason. The producers at CNBC and Bloomberg and the rest of them, they're out hunting for a story. They're going to find you a story. Maybe a Fed governor said this, or a Fed governor did that, or this happened someplace in the world, and Mr. Market, said, "Oh, I gotta sell." It's a bunch of nonsense. Trying to trade like that, or invest like that, or live anything like that. We just assume that people being people, whether they got a little bit of money, a lot of money, an obscene amount of money, that they want to preserve that money and that wealth for themselves and for their family. And they will do things with that money to protect it. And if we can track the movement of that money flow on whatever the instrument might be, get in and get out and carve a piece off, then that's what we do. That's it. About as complicated as that. Now, if you want me to make up some macro babble bullshit, the Yale hockey captain on Hedgeye, boy, has he got a line of bullshit or what? Holy mackerel. Um, quad this, quad that, yada, yada, yada. They just get, we're staying in the here and now, and we're trading right now. We're in the moment. We're on the field. I can't tell you where the market's going to be 3 hours from now, or 4 hours from now, or 3 days from now, or 3 weeks from now. I can't tell you that. Nobody can. But what we can do when we're trading intraday, we just stay in the here and the now. It can be very relaxing. And we use machinery to just, again, carve off a little bit. But as we go further out in time, from a few hours to a few days, few weeks, few months, then there is a much greater degree of uncertainty. You see these people that come on CNBC and will tell you, Judge, I think the S&P is going to be at 5,500 in the end of December 31st. I think that's where it's going to be, Judge. But then again, I can't tell you where it's going to be tomorrow because I'm not a market timer, but I can tell you where it's going to be in December. Oh, okay. Like somehow it's easier. That's nonsense. So, but what we will do is we will use our technology to make some decisions about the future, but we will reduce, if we're going to trade any of that, we will begin to reduce our leverage. May not use any leverage. And we may use things called options in defining our risk. Because we know the further out we go, there's a greater degree of uncertainty. There's also a greater degree of payoff, right? But you've got to define your risk. That crazy son of a bitch who took 4 or 5 people down into a submarine, um, he didn't define his risk, did he? He did. He lied to himself. A horror show. But we want to take and we spend a lot of time on this in the Q school. We have zero tolerance for negative outliers or implosions. Zero chance. We do everything we can, keep it limited, keep it small. So you've got to stay patient. The retail trader, the person who's new, who just quit his job or did something else, comes in and okay, honey, I got my desk set up and I got my TV and yeah, let's take that, that 250,000 IRA and let's get long NVIDIA on some call option. We're not doing that. But there are people that do that. Gotta love them. That's not what we're doing. Nope. If you got any questions, let us know. Got about another 20, 30 minutes left on the YouTube clock. We need these resources. So our members, we're building, by the way, we have a website for Stock Market Caddy, and we have so much information that we want to impart to our members and other support material. So we're actually building a secondary website. It's going to be totally private, only for monthly and annual members. And it's going to be a repository of all kinds of things. And our goal is hopefully to have that website, at least I'm hoping by July 1, but certainly before July is over, we'll have hopefully that website up and accessible for all of our members. Now, that won't be a website that, again, it'll be locked down. It won't be one that the general public has access to. But it's going to be hopefully a beautiful adjunct and something that we can grow into. Because there's so many different things that you can be doing. There's so many, and we have members that are doing all kinds of things as well. So if you join as a monthly member, you do get you get a 1-day hall pass, and we'll spend a day with you. Ideally, early in the morning, we'll give you like a 1-hour, 2-hour tour of some of the other tools that we use, and then let you hang out for a full day as well. So we look here. This is the 1032. It's still running. 3700, 11 a.m., 3300, 11:10, 2300. There's no telling where these are going, right? And that VIX is trying to come up as they get like, uh-oh. So the VIX didn't lead, but it is now starting to respond. So this might continue. Blood in the streets. We've been telling our monthly members we have a video view, or they get a video view every night. We're telling them it's coming. 4,000, 3,700, 2,600. Again, folks, we're going to be turning down here shortly. But while we've been here, 1032, there's $4,000 on one mini, 4 grand, 4,200 to be exact. 3,800 if you traded the 3 minute. The 5 minute, we called this one out precisely. Now it oscillated a couple $100, 3 grand. This is what we did overnight in some relatively quiet trading hours by the machine. We're not going to begrudge ourselves. We still made $1,000. We're not trying to get it all. We're just trying to get our share. Come in every day, get a little bit. 20, we try to, set everyone's expectations. There are 24 trading days in a month. Can you be happy with 100 a day? 2,400? Take 4 days off? 2 grand? Learn your craft, learn the tools, increase your frequency a little bit, maybe increase your margin a little bit, get it up to 200. Incremental, slow, step by step, a graduated trading method. You learn to ski using short skis, they call it at least they used to, graduated skiing method. They take you up on the bunny slope and give you these little short skis and learn to ski, learn to turn, right? That's what we're going to try to do for you during your Q school. We're going to take you up on the bunny slope. We're going to slow your breathing down. We're going to slow your trading down. We're going to get you real mechanical. I'm going to just teach you to turn. Don't worry about your account at the end of the month or the end of the week or the end of the day. Enjoy it. Enjoy the run. Kind of a graduated trading method. Now, if you're going to get all caught up, you're going to show up with your fancy big long skis, and although it's the summertime, right? We're talking skiing, but it could be anything, right? And you see them, flying around, and you want to do that. So whether you're skiing or golfing or scuba diving or whatever it is, you got to start out small, and it's got to be a process and a graduated process. If you're just coming into the market every day and just sitting your fanny down in the office and just kind of starting to throw things around, well, that will run its course. It just will. You won't be here very long. Okay, so I just want to alert everyone on YouTube. This is going to automatically turn off right at about 12:50. So you got about 3 or 4 minutes. If you got any questions, post them in the chat. Send us an email. You're welcome to call. We just ask you to visit the website, though. A lot of your questions can probably be answered at the website level. And we'd encourage you to visit that. Take your time. And we're not suggesting that this is for everybody. But if it's for you, we think, it'll resonate. And if it does, we're ready to get started when you are. Monthly memberships are unlimited. Annual memberships are limited. And you must go through what we call a Q school. And we have a limited number of licenses every year. So if you do go into the Q school, we will hold a spot. So at the end of the Q school, you might think of that as a bit of a trial. You don't have to become an annual member until after you've gone through the Q school and answered the questions for yourself as to whether or not, is this for me? Is this something I can do? Is this something I can enjoy? And 3 weeks, you'll know. When you think about it, we're actually slowing the process down, right? We've had many business consultants saying you shouldn't do that. You should be getting people to sign up as an annual right out of the gate, and you'll have more members and more sales. And we're not going to do that. We're deliberately slowing it down. We're trying to give everyone an opportunity to say, yes, this is for me. No, this isn't for me. And it's incremental. We wish you the best. Hope you have a good rest of the day. If you get any questions, give us a shout. Okay, we're going to say goodbye to the folks on YouTube for the few folks that came by. What a hoot, right? The CNBC will have thousands, right? Tens of thousands of people, you know, turning on that nonsense. Nonsense. Oh my goodness. 1032, 4,200 bucks. 420 on a micro. 10? 10 minis at 1032? $42,000. 42 grand. Hmm? Just do that a couple of times a year. They got hundreds of them. They got thousands of them. They're doing it every day. YouTubers, we wish you the best. Have a great rest of the day, rest of the week, and look for us online. You can follow us free on Twitter. You can follow us free on YouTube. Monthly membership is $100. Q School is 3 grand for 3 weeks. You get to spend 3 weeks with us every single day, and one-on-one instruction. Answer all your questions. And we say 3+ weeks, whatever time it takes. If at the following the Q School, you want to become an annual member, we'll credit you back 30% of the Q School. And then we'll begin sending you all of our files so that you can have them on your desktop. You will have had the instruction on how to use them, and you can get underway.